to be here. Thank you, sirs. Thank you. Thank you for the honor and the privilege to be here. Um, Pastor Chade has been a very good friend. We've served. We are those who love to serve. I come and serve a servant leader. There are certain type of people who, when they get up there, they stay up there. Like she says, there is nothing I cannot do. In my church, I don't have the privilege of sitting down, though my position in church. I'm everywhere. I'm in the console. I'm there. I'm outside. I love service because service is what has made me. The greatest gift anybody can give to themselves is to serve. When we entered 2025, the only matter I had was delight yourself in the Lord, and He will fulfill the desires of your heart. I didn't write any goal this year. That was what came to my spirit. When I was asking the Lord, what is for me 2025? All I heard was delight yourself in the Lord, and He will fulfill the desires of your heart. And I cannot tell you what the Lord has done for me. In just the month of January, it will amaze you. I'm a mother. I have 5 kids. Not just 5 kids. I also have 4 grandchildren. So, God has been faithful to me as a person, like Pastor Shade was saying. My story is that of if I start to talk, we won't leave here. I don't look like my story. I don't look like the things I've been through. Because the only thing that I have, that I believe in, is God. Everything about me, everything you see that makes me, is God. And don't get carried away by my looks. I know where I make up. I pray. They know me. They call me the warrior on hills. I'm a warrior on hills. I'm not just, don't look, oh, this man is psychedelic. You're going to get it wrong. I pray. So looking the way I'm looking is because I pray. So when Pastor Shade called me and she said, I was going to speak today in your orientation program. And I was asking her, what will you have me do? She only sent me a video. I'm sorry, I did my slide. And my system crashed in the middle of the night. So I had to start scribbling on a piece of, and a notebook. So I'm sorry for that. She sent me a message, and it was just a picture, and it's read, tell my mistakes to me, not to others, because my mistakes are to be corrected by me and not by others. That was her focus when she sent it to me. And I began to think, and I began to ponder, and I said, what is a mistake? A mistake is an action, decision, or judgment that produces an unwanted or incorrect result. It often arises from a lack of knowledge, attention, or understanding, and can occur on various texts such as personal behavior. Another definition I got for mistake was mistakes are products of wrong judgments, misinformation, or inadequate information on a subject matter. Wrong judgments, misinformation, you don't have enough information on a particular subject matter, which brings regret, sorrow, pain, and sometimes leads to stagnation. I just want you to turn to your neighbor and ask your neighbor, have you done a mistake lately? And please permit me to ask. Please tell your neighbor the mistake you did recently. That is to tell you that we are all deficient. No matter how much you know, you are still deficient. God has not given it unto any man to know it all. No man. A mistake is something nobody likes to make, but people keep making it. Because you don't know that thing, you are incomplete, and you make it, and it's a mistake. But it doesn't mean that you are your mistake. It doesn't. As you aspire to greatness in life, one of the best gifts you can give to yourself is the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is 2025. Every information you think you knew in 2024, gather it, throw it out the window because it's gone. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and every day I have to interact with her, and we speak. When we speak, I begin to say, Babbie, whoa, your brain needs some dusting up. So whatever information you think you know, The greatest gift you can give to yourself as a woman, especially I'm talking to you as my sisters, is to unlearn, relearn, and learn again. Mistakes does not have class, rank, status, tribe. Or you say mistakes are mostly done by poor people, or the rich and the elites they don't make mistakes. No, it does not have class. Mistake is universal. Not because I am Igbo, I am Yoruba. It's not a Yoruba thing. It's not an Igbo thing. It's not an Hausa thing. It is not. As we go through life, we will make mistakes. When you live with a sense of perfection, you deny yourself of divine participation. There are a lot of people, I've met people who live with this sense of perfection. Everything about them is perfect. They can do no wrong. No. Then you are denying yourself of God's involvement in your life. Because the only perfect being we have here is God. So when God sees that there's a room and you are vulnerable, you are open, and you come to Him knowing that, oh, I am flawed, help me, then God begins to step into your life. God cannot be involved when you are already perfect. Then you don't need Him. Say this one. Let me go to that one. You know, we all know David. And if you go through the story of David, David was the man that was undeserving. He did the worst of the worst. But yet the Bible said something about David, that David is the man after God's heart. How come? Do you know why David was like that with God? The Bible says he has a broken and a contrite heart. What is a broken and a contrite heart? A broken and a contrite heart is the heart that does evil and knows it and acknowledges it when they've done evil. David will quickly do now. As the prophet is saying, he's running back. Oh, Papa, I am so sorry. I did this. Have mercy upon me. And it was counted to him what the man after God's heart. When you're perfect, you don't need God. Mistakes are a natural part of learning and growth. But we live in a world today when somebody makes a mistake, the whole world expects you to bury your head in shame. The whole world expects it because you have made a mistake. You shouldn't speak. You shouldn't even speak. Bury your head when you see people coming. That they even expect you to live a certain kind of life, act in a certain way. When others are speaking, we don't want you to speak because you have made a mistake. As they produce opportunities to reflect, improve, and avoid similar errors in your life. That's what mistake does. Handling mistake is a skill that have to be learned. I was so impressed this morning when I was hearing barrister this. There are so many lawyers in the house. I was like, yes. Don't mind me. I like when women are up there. I was like, yes. At least I heard of the 3 lawyers, and then I heard a doctor like, come on now. This is my bragging right. I like to brag about women. It gives me joy to see women who are doing well in different facets of life. It's my pride, it's my bragging right. And I celebrate every one of you here this morning. The Lord bless you. Thank you for keeping the flag flying. Thank you for what you do. Just as they went to school to learn how to become medical doctors, how to become lawyers, we also need to learn to have the skill of handling mistakes. Most of us as women, we do not know how to handle people when they make mistakes. It is very crucial and critical for us as leaders, as it impacts our personal life and our ministry. Because you have members, they will make mistakes. They will make mistakes. Yesterday, I was taking a walk with my presiding bishop just down the estate where he stays. And then as we were going, he needed to take a walk. We were walking, and everybody kept saying, Pastor Babbie, Pastor Babbie. And by the way, my bishop also happens to be the chairman of his estate. And the next he said, oh, so you want to take my chairmanship from me? Because everybody in my estate knows you. It's as a result of one being humble and learning skills of human relations. All the agberos that lives around my environment are my friends. I speak to them, agberos there. I don't go looking at them like, this one shouldn't know. Everybody, every aboki, everybody that sells in my estate, everybody that sells on the streets where I am a regular, I make sure I know them. And I don't just know them, I know them by name. By the time they say, Pastor Babbie, good morning. Blessing, how are you? John, how are you doing today? Amadu, how are you? How is your wife? How is your children? These are skills that we need to learn as leaders. You do yourself a disservice as a leader or as a woman of God when you don't know certain or have certain skills. This is, by the way, it just popped up in my head. Sometimes with us as pastors' wives, as women who are in ministry, there's one mistake we make, and I don't fail to tell us as women when I have the opportunity. Is the mistake of always wanting to know. Sister Jane went to Daddy's office. When Sister Baba, what did Sister Jane come to tell you? You don't need to know. Give your husband, give Daddy. There's a confidentiality. You don't need to know. That's a mistake we make as women of God. We always want to know everything about everybody. Why? If they come to you, sit in your office and give the counsel. If they don't come, and peradventure you hear about it, say to the Lord in prayer. And don't get mad that they didn't come to tell you. Why is she talking to Sister Mary and she's not talking to me? You cannot fill every gap in everybody's life. There are things I've made peace with. I have children, but there are gaps in my children's life that I cannot fill. So it doesn't take the fact that I am their mom. I am still their mom. But if this aspect of her life, my sister is a better person for her, she speaks to my younger sister every day, I am at peace. When there is a danger, my sister is going to come to me, Babbie, I think we need to talk. Juanita is in this space. Although I just want you to know so you can join me in faith, but I'm still not going to speak to my daughter until she comes to me. So as ministers and pastor's wife, be okay not knowing what Sister Amaka told Daddy in the office. Don't go home harassing him that you want to know. Those are mistakes we make as women of God. Because we are raising a generation that is looking and modeling after us. We are modeling the next generation. I have 3 beautiful daughters. And sometimes I look at these girls and I say, Father, help me to model these girls into becoming real ladies. It's a duty, it's a purpose for me. I have 3 beautiful daughters. You need to see my daughters. So I begin to look and say, God, help me to be a role model. First of all, I am the curriculum my children are seeing. You are the curriculum your children are seeing. You think they're going to go there and learn whatever you do, they will duplicate tomorrow. Be careful what you say. Be careful how you act. Be careful the decisions you make in life. Because they are seeing. And don't forget, children are more visual than words. You think they don't know? They know. What is a model? A model is something for people to follow. Become a model to the next generation of women that are coming. That is what we are meant to be. People become what they see. Nobody or thing. Anybody or anything you put in front of a person is what they become. That thing you keep projecting is what that. If you put your maid in front of your children, they start acting like your maid. If your maid is all they see every day, see that Ngozi? The way Ngozi talks, the way she behaves, the way she acts, when she's in a bad space, the way she reacts, your children will start because that is what they see. We have a next generation to protect. As women of God, let us begin to carry ourselves with dignity, with poise. Act right, think right. Monkey see, monkey do. I don't forget that when I was small, my father used to say that. Monkey see, monkey do. So whatever your spiritual daughters see you do is what they will do tomorrow. This brings me back to what the picture that Mama Shade gave to me. I like calling her queen. Is it okay? I love the fact that the crown she wears is I had one many years ago. I was a pageant queen many years ago. So when I see her wear it all the time, it takes a lot. Even when it was troubling. I couldn't just wait to put it down. So when I see her wear it, I say, this is grace. This is actual grace. I like calling her queen. So your queen gave me this picture, and I looked at it. It said, tell me my mistakes. I'm not going telling to others. When I looked at that picture again, the word that popped up in my head was destructive. When somebody makes a mistake and you go telling somebody else, you're being destructive. That is a destructive phenomenon. Why go tell somebody, I'm the one that made the mistakes. I'm the one that hurts you. Why are you telling somebody? Destructive phenomenon is found everywhere. You find it in families. You find it in political arenas. You find it in churches. You find it in organization, your workplace. You find it in every facet of life. You find this type of people. When you tell others and not me, these are the things that are most likely to happen. Number one, you are damaging the reputation and credibility of that individual. Number two, you are destroying public confidence in that person. Number three, you are lowering your own character. That's what you're doing. The things you say about others say a lot about you. I can tell you a lot about the person by what they choose to see in others. Towards the end of 2024, somehow somebody called me. And she began to talk, Babbie, I need to see you, blah, 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 blah. She began to ask me some strange questions. I was like, I don't know where this is coming from, but it's strange. And I'm one person that if I say something to you, I know I said it to you. So if somebody else is speaking about it, I say, okay, it was you I said it to. I'm very good at that. I know who I speak to. And I don't speak to multiple people on one subject. So I know. And I said, no, this thing didn't happen. It actually happened between both of us, and I addressed it between both of us. Why is it now a public thing? And the matter was changed. And she said, I know both of you to be very good friends. I need us to meet up in a park. I'm organizing a park Saturday just to laze around, have a spa day. And okay, I said, okay. The Bible said, follow peace with all men. I went because I really needed to hear. Because it was strange to me, because I had a conversation with her alone. And when we got to the park, we started talking, and our friend, who was a common friend, who actually arranged the meet, she would say, okay, Babbie, I don't want to call her name. And we got talking. When we began to talk, she said, Babbie, okay, tell me your side of your story, the story. And I told her. This very lady acted like she was just hearing it for the first time. I was like, whoa. I was like, what's going on here? She went like, she's just hearing it for the first time. I said, you're just hearing it for the first time. Did I have this conversation with you? Did I call you? Did we meet up when this happened? She said she cannot remember. What you say about people tells a lot about you. And when you meet them face to face, will you be able to repeat what you said about them behind their back? There is nothing I say about anybody. Call me any day, anytime. I'm going to say it. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to say, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm not going to run away from my mistake because I'm not my mistake. I will apologize. There are people that takes maximum delight in pulling people down. They have a self-awarded PhD, what I call pull her down syndrome. Some people are very good with that. They can't just stand you. Not that you've done anything wrong. They do that. That's the only way they oil their ego, by pulling you down. That's the way they just feel good when they bring people down, and that's how they get friendships. That friendship you have, is it because of Amaka? Are you really friends because you're genuinely friends, or the reason for your bonding is because there is somebody in the middle? Number 4, when you do that, you are recruiting others to hate someone who hasn't wronged them. You are recruiting people. The only thing we're asked to do was to go into the uttermost part of the world and bring them into the kingdom, not the ones in the kingdom. And then you're destroying. Say, hey, the 17 God hates, he that sows discord. God hates it, he that sows discord. As women, oh, I long for a day, I have a dream, when as women we'll truly be sisters. Oh, when we'll have each other's back. Thank you for being here, sirs. I love you, sirs. But I'm looking forward to the day when women will be sisters. When you really be your sister's keeper, when you got your sister's back. I tell people there is no need to envy anybody. I've not seen that woman I'm going to envy. Because that thing you're envying, God had much more to give to you. That thing you're envying, there's much more that God has available for you. So I envy that sister. I look forward to the day when we'll truly be sisters, holding each other up in prayer. When you hear, you go into your closet, you go down and you cry to God. Answer. Oh, I'm not leaving this place. You build an altar for your next sister. Not by pulling us down. You know, it's so common in the world that when two sisters just become friends, the world is already giving them a time. You know, leave this thing in 3 months. We've made it so easy that they give us time for us to just do something wrong. And well, man, we don't disappoint. We don't disappoint them. It's high time we start disappointing them. This is 2025. Let's move. Let's truly be sisters. Mistakes you should never make. Number 1, don't conclude about people because of what others say about them. It is a lack of social intelligence that makes people draw conclusions because of what others say about them. 2, don't inherit other people's enemies. It is total lack of education and enlightenment when you inherit other people's enemies and make your friends' enemies your own enemy. Like Queen Shade told us, I was once a Tiosa province coordinator. And something happened in my province. There was a lady who was in my leadership, my directorate. And there's a higher mother in Israel. Big, if I call the name, big in Israel. She had issues with her. And then she came to me. You need to demote her from this position. I don't want her in this office. And I told her, Your Grace, ma, I love you, I respect you, ma. But I can't do that, ma. It got so bad that she even had to write letters to my presiding bishop, to my spiritual father. And my spiritual father told her, we don't practice such. You have issues with her. Babbie does not have issues with this lady. Why do you want? You can't use Babbie to... I'm not a weapon of anybody's warfare. I can't be the weapon that you use to fashion against anybody. Fight your battles. I stood my ground. Do you know today, I am like one of our worst enemies just because I didn't do that. As women of God, that is not the way. What would Jesus do? Resolve. I told her, why not have a one-on-one? Have a heart-to-heart. No, I am this, I am that. Like Mama Shade said, we are all servants. Until we begin to know that being in leadership is actually being a servant, is a servant position, then we begin to get it right. We are all servants here. Leave the titles. We are made to serve the people. If the people are not there, what good is your position? We are here to serve. And to be good role models and to be examples. Don't inherit other people's enemy. Never make that mistake. Because at the end of the day, when you get to heaven, every man for himself. Refuse to be used as a weapon in other people's battle. When people fight dirty, refuse to take sides. Observe deeply before concluding finally. Be observant. Some of us get carried away by status and positions and we make wrong decisions about people. With all due respect, mas, answers. Even people in authority do tell lies. I have experienced it. People who will look up to as fathers, as mothers, They do tell that because there is a human nature. So don't take away the human side out of them. That's why I say we can't be perfect. Don't see them as perfect. So please, don't be a weapon that is used to fashion against the next person. Don't dislike people because they don't behave like you. That somebody is not like you or is not from your tribe does not make the person an enemy. As if she was peeking into my message, she said something. She said, look at her, look at me. All makeup. I love makeups. And she doesn't. We are sisters. That Queen Sade is not like Babbie. It doesn't mean that she's not my sister. Nothing. Nothing. It's the heart. Don't dislike people because of how they dress, how they look, how they speak. Embrace everybody. Those are mistakes we make as women. You can be classy, but don't have a class. I'm classy, I'm elegant, but I don't have a class. Everybody, anybody is my friend. Because I look at the Father, first of all, you're human. He created them in his image and in his likeness. So that is my key. Being flashy, being elegant, whatever, is on you. But for a human being, please don't have class. When you come to meetings, interact. When you see somebody who is looking the way she should not look, please give a hug. I'm a hugger. I'm a kisser. Because that one act can go a long way for somebody. Make her feel, yes, she can actually be like this. Oh, she's not looking it today. If this woman can give me a hug, that means, whoa, there is hope. I can actually look like her one day. You are painting a picture that nothing is wrong with her. It is a waste of education for you to look at people and just dislike them for no reason. The greatest proof of your education is in how you respond to people whose opinion is different from you. How do you treat people when their opinions are different from yours? How do you treat people when you come into conflict with your sister? Have a one-on-one. Women of God, have a one-on-one. And when you have a one, this is how you do when I have a one-on-one. I come humble. I come respectful. I come cordial. I make sure my body language is right. Have the blind body language. Keep your tone. My time is almost up, so I'm going to run very fast. Keep your tone. Your tone is important. Your tone, your body language. The when she's talking, don't do. No, keep your tone. Be civil. Be respectful to that person. Let her air her opinion. Let her air the disagreement. Let her air whatever it is, the conflict that is going on between both of you. And when the person is speaking, please stay quiet and let them finish talking. When you come into a place where you have conflict with somebody, please stay on the same class. There is no mommy. There is no Pastor Babbie. I just come like a sister. Can we please talk about this? Be humble enough. The person will not call. Please call. And I prefer if one-on-one. Because there are ways you will send text messages to somebody. It's going to sound rude. Even when you are not sounding rude. Create an atmosphere. Can I meet you for tea? Can I have lunch with you? And can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? Most of you will think it's not possible to do that, but I can tell you it's very possible to do it. I'll give a brief story about my life. I had a breakdown in my life, and I am one person who never thought my life was going to end. My life didn't end the way it went. My marriage ran into a crisis. And as my marriage ran into a crisis, I knew the lady. I knew her, but she was a friend. She's a friend. Like my children will go sleep over. So it was not a stranger. And I called her and I told her, can we meet in a restaurant? We met. I'm just telling you how you can actually have the biggest stab in your life, but you can also stay respectful. And we had this conversation. She was also married with kids. So it's not that she didn't have a husband. She was. And we began to talk. And I spoke to her and I told her, how did you get here? She talked and talked and I was calm and she was arrogant. She was like, so what are you going to do about it? I said, nothing. I just want to know how you got here because I didn't bargain for this. And I'm finding myself here. What should we do? At the end of the day, I had that conversation with her. When I left that restaurant, I've never had the peace. Oh, I'm looking forward to when I will experience that peace again. It was like an air. I was so free. And I walked out with my dignity and my pride. Sometimes as women, when mistakes are done, the way we handle it is wrong. Then they say 2 wrongs cannot make a right. Today, my marriage is gone. Hers is intact. I had all the cards to bring hers down because the husband came to me. I could have brought her down. I didn't bring her down. But do you know one thing? She's ever grateful to me. How do you handle mistakes? How do you handle people? How do you stand and then you are able to live with your dignity and make sure that your sister does not feel less, even in the midst of the mess? Don't strip anybody of their self. Because we all need each other. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress together. You cannot produce everything you need to make your life colorful. One is too small a number to achieve greatness. The process to greatness is not always pleasant. The greatest gift you can give to yourself is to be a support system to people. When you pull someone down, take it as a loan. It will always come back to you with interest. Relationship multiply potentials. Every road in life is rough. Blessed is a man that has a friend that shares her on or that shares him on. You need a sister next to you. So when people make mistakes, please, they are not their mistakes. My closing remark will be, as we aspire to be great in life, sometimes we need conflict. Conflict isn't always bad. Being challenged sometimes pushes us to be better. When we don't speak up when we should, things go bad. When we don't speak up, most times, all because we don't want to disrupt the harmony, what happens? We could lose everything by not speaking up. So know the right time to actually speak. Don't wait till it's too late. Some of the members that have left churches because when there was crisis, you didn't handle it when you should have handled it. No, let me just leave it. And they're like, pastor should intervene now. I need daddy to come. I need mommy to say a word. Most members have loved it because you didn't speak up when you should speak up. Harmony isn't silence. Unity isn't sameness. Love is powerful. It can handle disagreements. Love is powerful. Love is powerful. But how do you come to this place where in the midst of mistakes, in the midst of trials, in the midst of tribulations, no matter what somebody have done to you, you can still stand with your dignity. You can still see that sister and give her a hug. It's first of all, when you have a right heart. David said, create in me a clean heart. Our heart is important. Bible says, guide it, for out of it all the issues of life. This heart, protect it. It's not because of the next person, it's because of you. What do you do? When you're in that crossroad, what do you do, my sisters? Mistakes will happen. But please, don't let people change you. Don't change. No matter what happens in life, no matter what you see, please, always leave room for an embrace. Always leave room for you to speak. Please, if you've been hurt or somebody has hurt you, please walk up to that person. I love you. You're my sister. Buy a gift. I use I love you. I love to tell people that I love them. Say to your sister, I love you. Turn to the next woman and say, I love you. I love you. Valentine is coming. Get that sister a gift. That person that have hurt you so much, please buy the person a gift. A gift makes room. There's something that happens when you give somebody. Apart from the Bible says, heaping coals of fire, it also frees your heart. Please accept it that this is a mistake. If that person is not the mistake. We are stronger together as women. We are stronger together. We are a team when we come together. I pray that whoever has been hurt here tonight or who have made a mistake, the grace of the Lord is available. There is nothing God cannot do. I speak peace to that heart. The right words. The right words. The right words. The Lord will give you right words. As you go to approach that person, right words. You will go humbly. You will deal with that person with grace. Grace is made available. For everything you desire, the Bible says we have 10 graces for every one of it. 10 graces. Grace is available for you to handle that matter. And henceforth, we'll be sisters, real sisters. We will not put each other to shame. We will not speak behind each other's back. But we'll uphold each other in righteousness and in holiness, giving glory to God. At the end of the day, when we get to heaven, Jesus will look at us and say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thank you for having me.